And in a flash, Peppel has worked Plymouth downfield, and they've got this attacking throw.
Yeah, really good. Max Power tracked him all the way back, probably tempted just to put that sliding tackle in, but he's walking that disciplinary tightrope, doesn't want to pick up that 14th yellow card and really make it difficult for himself, but gives Plymouth another chance for a long throw.
And they've got the big men up there, Mitchell, Wiradoo, Ross inside the box, long throw, swirls in the air with the windy conditions. Jackson heads it back out towards the throw taker. And here is now Dale, onto his right foot, clips it into the box. Joe Wright firmly heads the ball away. That's picked up by Galloway, and Galloway is forced to go all the way back to the keeper Hazard. And Plymouth will start again. 6 minutes played, 0-0. BBC Radio leads. Torre goes up for the aerial duel. Curtis wins it. Tilt covers, but it rather skims off the top of his head, lacking direction, and it's an attacking throw once again. Plymouth Argyle, this time on the near right.
Yeah, just killing the tempo a little bit. This is the third throw-in now Plymouth have had in the final third, and take the time, get the big men forward, line up this long throw, and once again saw Joe Wright clear that last one. He's got to be on his guard again.
Throw taken short. Here is Boateng, drills it into the box, poked away, stabbed away on the half volley by Metcalf. A few groans from the Valley Parade crowd, and I suspect that's just an illustration of the slight pre-match nerves coming into a game of this size with what's at stake, knowing a victory for Bradford City would secure League One playoff football, but they've got to defend this long throw, and there's a potential own goal, and it's cleared away off the line as Stephen Humphreys, with a glancing touch, took the ball goalwards, but defending there with Bradford City, turn behind, corner Plymouth.
That's what we talk about with the long throws. It's nearly always that second ball that you've got to be aware of. When the ball's in the air and travelling and you're picking someone else up, you've just got to grip them, stay as tight as you possibly can. And I'm not sure who it was there. It might have been Josh Nerfel, did a really, really good job to clear it from under the crossbar almost.
Corner will come in from this near right, the game's first. Scoreline 0-0. Bradford City have had the ball in the back of the net, but Plymouth are piling on the early pressure. Right-footed outswinger by Curtis. Talai flicks it on, and it's in. Plymouth take an early lead off the underside of the crossbar. Volleyed effort, Wiradoo with the goal, and that is the ideal start for the chasing Plymouth Argyle, knowing a victory for them throws the playoff chase wide open. It's a hammer blow for Bradford City early on. City 0, Plymouth 1.
Yeah, set pieces. Plymouth have lined every chance they've had. They've put it in the box from these long throw-ins. First corner they get, little one into that near post there, and it's flicked on, and Wiradoo gets above his marker, heads it in off the underside of the crossbar, and that's a great start for Plymouth. Really disappointing for City after they'd had the ball in the net 5 minutes ago.
Could feel it coming from the set pressure that Plymouth Argyle were just beginning to build, and the celebrations tell their own story. Cluster of Plymouth players race over to that far end to celebrate with their travelling supporters, of which over 700 have made the long journey north on this late April Tuesday evening. So, far from ideal start for Bradford City, who need to respond, and they look shaken. Heavy touch by Metcalf. This is where character comes into play for Bradford City. Power squaring it left towards this near side. Curtis Tilt looks up, channel ball, looks for Lapsley. That's sent away by Ross, and then Power lunges into a challenge. Baldwin will head it forward straight to Boateng. Gaps opening up for Plymouth at the moment. Nerfil backtracking, bringing the ball down from the air, far right side. Nerfil digs it out, lifts it towards Lapsley, who rather calmly heads it down for Max Power. It's better play. Power for Jackson. Challenge comes in from behind from Galloway. Peppel past Baldwin, into the box he comes. Talai with a chance at the near post, and that goes wide.
That Till got a touch. The defenders walking out as if it was
Curtis with this corner in front of the travelling Pilgrims. Right-footed in-swinger to that near post. It's Jackson who heads away. Dale able to bring it under control. Jackson with the challenge, takes it away from Dale. Lapsley forward for Jackson, who loses sight of the ball but keeps a hold of it. He manages to skip over the Dale challenge. Lapsley wants to get on the right side, around his man, through for Jackson. Jackson has the pace, but Mitchell covers. Challenge comes in. Bradford City throw on that far right touchline, taken quickly. Baldwin goes for the crossfield ball, uses tilt on this near left side. Better play from Bradford City. Torre on the near left touchline. Bansom's attacking from right to left in this first half towards the Kop. Joe Wright squares it out towards the far side now. It's Baldwin. Dale comes out to meet him. Joe Wright in the heart of the back three. Tilt, lifting it long. Channel run by Humphreys. He sets off up against Ross. And just slightly overhit from Tilt. Ball goes out of play. Plymouth goal kick.
Yeah, that's what you need from
Torre on the near left touchline. Bansom. Torre on the near left touchline. Bansom.
Energetic nature of Lapsley. I think he knew he'd given away a foul, but there was no malice in that, even though Boateng took a fearful whack. Game 44 for Malachi Boateng. Started every game in the league this season. Fantastic achievement, especially around a club where there's been quite a lot of injuries this season. He's kept himself trim, sharp, and I think he's got better and better as it's gone on. He's on Argyle a free kick here, which Curtis is going to take. It's only a few yards inside Bradford territory. The line of players that are aimed are just outside the area. Bradford win the header. Dale hooks it back in. Talai is under it. There's thought about an acrobatic effort, but the goalkeeper got there first, Stan Walker, and then fizzes a ball down the right-hand side for Nerfield. That was very difficult for him to control. And it goes out for a throw. So far, so good, Lee.
Yeah, just keep doing what they're doing. But we're nice and compact. When we get the opportunities, we're getting the balls down the side and we're picking up the second balls, which has been really impressive.
I'm going to do what I did on Saturday, which is sporadically give you a few goal updates from elsewhere, because the importance of all the fixtures and all the results these days at the end of a season. There's one other goal at the moment in League One, and it's not one we wanted. Rotherham 0, Luton 1 is a latest score from just down the road in a different part of Yorkshire. Luton have scored in that. Luton obviously is still just below Argyle, so should Argyle win all three of their games, that Luton wouldn't be able to get past, but also it would keep them in contention. Stevenage playing Barnsley this evening. That's 0-0, Stevenage at home after about 15 minutes. Bound to be all sorts of twists and turns, and I promise not to keep on talking about the opposition ad nauseum, but it's obviously important. Argyle have just won a throw-in. Peppel won a tackle. Baldwin dithering a little on the ball. When Peppel won the tackle, it rebounded off of the defender. And it leads to another Argyle long throw. We've seen a few of these go in already. One of them led to the corner, which Argyle scored from. So Harding again. Sent in a bit higher this time. Goalkeeper comes a long way to punch it and succeeds. Boateng tries to hook it over his head, and again Bradford will want to try and burst away. Galloway, the deepest defender, does the sensible thing and just flicks it out for a throw. At one point Bradford had two players trying to take a throw in there. They had a ball each in their hands. In the end they settle on Toure, and then Humphreys with a big switch. Good ball too. Nerfield. Baldwin can go past him and be the overlapper. Does so, will try and cross. Blocked by Galloway. Bradford throw high on their right hand side. It's going to be Josh Nerfield to take it. City don't line up for a long one. They go short, try and work it again to Nerfield, but he didn't come off. And Argyle have seen that out. They'll have a throw in of their own. I realise I haven't given you the benches. I should do that, so I'll start with the home side. But Bradford's benches: Joe Hilton, Lee Evans, Nick Powell, Will Swan, Ethan Wheatley, Matthew Pennington and Harrison Ashby. You'll notice no Anthony Sarcevic in the whole squad for Bradford. Not only someone Argyle fans familiar with, former Player of the Year, promotion winner with Argyle, but 10 goals this season for Bradford. Scored the goal when the two sides met earlier in the season. So much as I like Sars, I'm quite happy to not see him in the team. Argyle subs are Luca Ashby-Hammond, Julio Peguezuelo, Jamie Patterson, Xavier Amici, Caleb Watts, Owen Asani and Matty Soranola.
It's really important when we've got a set piece, whether it's a corner or a throw in, that we're organised and we're not going to get done on the counter attack, because there's been a couple of opportunities. If the ball had fell perfectly for Bradford, they were on the attack straight away with players making them forward runs.
Yeah, you're quite right. There was just the way they're set, aren't they, for the edge of the box. If there's a header away from a long throw or something, then they are poised. They've just not really executed it as they would have wanted to so far. Argyle have a throw with Harding here. This is not a launch into the box. The centre-backs haven't gone forward, but I think he will go quite long down the line looking for Curtis. Harding again. Boateng tries to flick it round the corner, was stopped. Great tackle by Harding, nearly leads to a chance for Peppel. I think he'd have been offside had he got to the ball. But Bradford have it, and Baldwin will drift forward, go for a big, long, high diagonal, which Humphreys will flick. It's away by Harding. It was a dangerous position. It was just probably too close to the edge of the area for Hazard to come for. Argyle did deal with it, and now they have the back again with Peppel, who blasts through a couple of challenges. Bradford win the third one with Lapsley, who has stayed down, just about getting up now. Powell being urged to go forward by his home fans. And a little 1-2 down the right-hand side gets Nerfield going. Early cross, cleared up in the air by Mitchell, on by Talai, who's back to help out defending. Bradford trying to impose themselves on the game. Curtis wins the tackle. It will be a Bradford throw.
You could see the ball holding up there when Baldwin played that forward pass, and it just held up a little bit so Humphreys could get control of the ball and bring the midfielder into play there. So something we need to keep an eye on as well. Yeah,
the wind is it is swirling, but it's probably coming from that direction. So where the way Bradford are going forward, they will hit a ball into the wind, broadly speaking, because it is quite swirly. Is Power just inside Argyle's half. They'll want him on the ball as much as possible to dictate things. Baldwin again is drifting forward. Nerfville outside him. Dale trying to stop the cross, doesn't quite. Dale needs to get that out, and he did really well there between two players to get clear. Right for Bradford. Picks the ball up in the centre circle. Big diagonal again. Looking for Nerfville. Hard one for Dale with the bounce of the ball. But he dealt with it and cleared it. Had a really good game on Saturday, Owen Dale, against Wimbledon. Argyle will know that they'll get a real shift from here. Manadid Curtis on the other side. Both wide midfielders are going to have to dig in at times tonight. Track and help their fullbacks. Lapsley tries to turn, trapped all the way by Galloway. Ball down the line will go out for a throw. We're just seeing over the last few minutes a lot more Bradford possession. As far as Argyle are concerned, it's not led to anything, Lee, but the home side getting a bit more of the ball now as we approach the 20th minute.
Yeah, they're trying to move the ball from side to side, aren't they? And like I mentioned you before the game started, I watched Bradford back end of last season, and they played a lot of diagonal balls, and you can see with the split strikers that's what they're trying to do, you know, playing behind the two centre halves and get the wide players supporting and getting the balls into the box.
Early ball from deep from Bradford, well headed clear by Mitchell. Wiradou shrugs a player off of it. Mitchell goes long again towards Peppel. Talai battling away with tilt, made it difficult for him. The header didn't go very far, so Argyle pick it up. Where's Harding? Comes infield, opens the space out for Curtis. That just took a bobble in front of him. I might be being slightly kind, but I do think it wasn't a clean roll of the ball. The pitch is a little on the bumpy side. It's gone out for a Bradford throw. fired up the line. Good header by Ross in response, back by Tilt. And on the halfway line, players come together. Wiradoo and Power both took a whack in that. And I don't want to be too disparaging about the higher divisions, but that rather feels like in the lower leagues, which we still are in, both of those players want to shrug that off and not show that they're hurt rather than the other way around.
No, none of them were going to pull out of that one, were they?
No. Wiradoo took a whack in that, and he was very keen to stay on his feet. Harding's throw to Dale, headed in towards Tolai. That didn't stick with Tolai. Bradford try and clear, not very far, although Nerfield just nicked it from Dale. Bradford want to foul there. I think it was Baldwin. Is it Baldwin who got that far forward? It can't be right. Trying to work out who it was that went down. It was Jackson that went down. Thought it was a foul against him. Nothing was given. It's an Argyle throw. Galloway to take it. Goes up the line. Petal takes it in, tries to turn. That probably wasn't really on there. Wiradoo, the goal scorer, blocks. Just maybe seems to jump on one leg just for a stride or two there. Just maybe just caught his right foot and twisted it, but I think he's okay. Bradford throw, cleared away by Ross. It's far too early to be thinking about slowing the game down or anything like that. We've barely played a quarter of it, but with Argyle in front, this nature of how it's been over the last few minutes, throw-ins and stop-start, is certainly not beneficial to Bradford trying to get into the game, is it?
No, it isn't, but it is early on in the game still. You can still game management to a certain degree. But Argyle, they're in the ascendancy. They've got the wind behind them.
They've got the ball back here as well, so I couldn't quite turn it towards Curtis. It was a good tackle by Boateng on the front foot, and it got Argyle going. Tilt tries to run it out. He's done well, actually. He's got through to Lyan Curtis. Still has it. Wins a throw. I can tell you that Stevenage have taken the lead against Barnsley, so there are only 3 goals out of the 5 games in League One at the moment. And it means Argyle are winning, Luton are winning and Stevenage are winning, so the 3 protagonists in our story, all a goal up at the moment. Bradford trying to change that with Nerfield down the right. Jackson, he was fouled by Mitchell. Referee will see how this goes. Bradford are frustrated because Nerfield was crossing the ball. Referee has given the free kick. I think he thought where that was progressing that Nerfield was going to get caught in the corner. You can hear that the Bradford fans think otherwise. I think he'll have to book Mitchell here, won't he? Otherwise it's difficult for him to justify having stopped the game.
Yeah, you can understand Bradford's frustration.
Yeah.
Because they played a great 1-2 and he was just about to deliver the ball into the box and the referee just blew for the foul, and like you say, he's got no option but to book Mitchell. Yeah,
Alex Mitchell into the book, first yellow card of the game. Bradford want to take out their frustrations on not being allowed to continue with that attack with this free kick from the right hand side. It's very close to the touchline. Probably 20 yards or so from the corner flag. Power planting his foot. He's going to have a couple of steps as a run-up. Argyle have got a sort of split wall because on one hand they want to stop the cross, but also Nerfield is standing about 10 yards in front of Power, so they're trying to stop that ball. In from Power, headed away by Ross. Got plenty of distance on it. Toure, once on his left foot, where he's more comfortable, clips it forward. Argyle look for a flag that doesn't arrive. The ball is with Jackson and now out to Baldwin on the left. Cross to the far post, good opportunity, headed across, bounces around on the line. Argyle have got it away, partially, and now fully. Tolai trying to get there, doesn't quite. Bradford still on the attack. Blocked by Curtis. But now an opportunity for Bradford again with Metcalf. Argyle have won it back and now Tolai barrels forward. He goes to his left. Peppel gets to the edge of the box. Dale goes past him to line. Good save. Good save. Low to the goalkeeper's left. Walker got down. He's a big figure. And that was goal bound had he not put an arm to it. Drama at both ends. Argyle had to clear off the line. The header back across. It was a dangerous position and they held out. 15 seconds or so later, their leading goal scorer was looking to make it 2-0, but for a save from the goalkeeper. It's all action.
I don't know who it was who cleared it off the lines, but what a defensive header it was. And then Argyle, the counter-attack, some of the movements and the running was unbelievable.
Argyle have a corner. I can see Matti Sorinola being readied on the touchline to come on, so someone must be injured. In it comes from Curtis. Header goes up in the air. It will bounce. Bradford then head it. Curtis is trying to anticipate. Gets it back in. Flicked by Boateng. Was behind to lie. Bradford trying to run the ball out. It's a good run. It's a really good run from Humphreys. Dale can't stop him. Still Humphreys goes. Crosses the halfway. Tries to come in field. Eventually there are enough Argyle bodies back. Dale won the tackle. But Brendan Galloway has stayed down following that attack. Previously, Brendan Wiredu was down and I was concerned he was the one injured. But when I looked down to see it was Sorinola, it feels more likely that he would come on in a full-back area. So Galloway, who has suffered over his entire Argyle tenure with various different injuries, has been nursed, I think probably not in the squad on Saturday with today in mind. But we've only got to 27 minutes, and if indeed it is Brendan Galloway who's coming off, seems to be just rubbing the inside of his left leg. Oh, you have to feel for Brendan Galloway, who always seems to get to a point where you think he's fit and something breaks down. Both teams have got their players off to the side and having a chat with their respective coaches at the moment. And Sorinola about to come on, and I assume it is for Galloway.
It's going to be a big blow for Argyle, because the way Bradford play, they're trying to diagonal all the time onto that area. So if Sorinola comes on and plays in that position, it's going to be difficult for him.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye whether or not Sorinola goes straight to left back, or whether or not he goes to the right hand side and Harding switches, because Harding's been playing left back, but Sorinola can play there as well, so we'll all see. So Galloway off, Sorinola on. Argyle's first change and first of their 3 windows that you get to stop the game. Always worth remembering that, so Argyle can make 4 more subs from 2 more windows. Sorinola on, and Bradford have a throw which they've taken short to Toure, and that's blocked by Peppel. I think for a corner. It is for a corner. Home side trying to, well, the fans anyway, trying to rally their team. They've taken the corner short. Toure onto his left foot, bit of a dummy, then plants it to Power, who's changed the angle now, sends it in. Mitchell's header is skywards. Boateng's gone down in all of this. It's still bouncing around the edge of the 6. Great hook away by Mitchell. Back in by Power. It's just chaos, really. In the end, it came off of Harding and went wide. It's going to be another corner. Chaos, and not organised either. That was just bodies everywhere. It could have gone anywhere. In the end, it went just wide off of an Argyle player, and it will be another Bradford corner.
In them scenarios, I'm expecting Connor Hazard to come in and claim it, especially when it's inside his 6-yard box. Help the defence out a little bit. Big guy, come and take it. Kill time a little bit.
Referee's had his say about some goings on in the area. Bradford have 2 little combinations of players, basically. There's 3 of them on the edge of the 6-yard box, several a bit deeper, but they've gone short with the corner, worked it to the edge of the box. Metcalf beats a player, hesitates about shooting, and Dale blocks it. Argyle clear. Goodness me, the anger in this stadium. You wouldn't think they're the team with the second best home record, the way they're feeling just now. they're annoyed with Metcalf for not shooting quicker. I understand that frustration. Toure, left-hand side, still with the ball. Now Humphreys with 2 in front of him. Deflected cross. Another Bradford corner.
I think they're upset with the referee in his position that he took up. He took up a similar position I noticed early on in the game.
Corner in from the right, from the left-hand side. Mitchell gets ahead to it. Curtis chases. Nerfield. Bradford have a player over on the right-hand side. Lots of space to be able to get the cross in. Into the centre it comes. Lapsley threw a leg at it, trying the overhead. Toure square to Power. He's going to think about shooting from distance. Mitchell blocked it. Headed by Bradford. Chance here for Lapsley. Mitchell only heads as far as right. And then Mitchell again. This time Argyle finally get it out of their half. And that's brilliantly taken down by Talai. What a touch. Goes down. Referee doesn't think it's a foul. Argyle could have done with the respite. They don't get it. And now Bradford look to build again. Lots of space for Metcalf. Nerfield. Jackson in front of him. Tries to pull it back for the on-running Lapsley. Bradford still have it. Metcalf. Nice little clip. Inside right is Jackson. Just held up by Dale, who did a really good defensive job. Didn't dive in. Goal kick. Argyle, I won't say they're hanging on. That's a bit unfair because there's not been lots of clear chances for Bradford, but having to clear the area time and time again. I'm saying Alex Mitchell's name a lot as he's blocking things and clearing things. Glancing towards the scoreboard, 32 minutes. Might be a bit early to just say about seeing it to half-time, but right now, if Argyle can get in at 1-0, it'd be a bit of a mini achievement.
Yeah, it would be, but going back to the referee's position from corner kicks, early on in the game, Argyle had a corner, and Owen Dale went to hit the ball, and the referee was in his way. Exactly the same happened there for Bradford when Metcalf was going to hit the ball, and he was just standing and he wasn't even looking at the ball.
Dale thought he had a free kick there. Ball has now gone forward, headed by Ross up in the air, claimed by Hazard. Argyle have had 2 claims for free kicks, one from Dale, one from Talai just before that. Trying to get down the left-hand side, checked, and the referee thought otherwise in terms of being a foul. So both sets of fans having their own grievances against the referee at the moment. Curtis tries twice to get the ball to Peppel, not quite able. Wiredu hooks it forward. Peppel near the edge of the box, battles with tilt. It's all about where it falls. And it's going to fall to Bradford. Lapsley can get it forward. Mitchell stops it getting any further. Curtis, little flick round the corner. Peppel trying to back into his defender in a fair enough way. Goes to ground. Then he reached out and handballed it. That'll be a free kick to Bradford. Peppel was thinking the free kick would come his way. Reached out a hand to try and bring the ball in, but the free kick hadn't been given. Now a foul is given, this time to Bradford. Hand in the back by Talai. Power. Metcalf. Turns back. Again, some frustrations by the home fans. Argyle need to kind of play on that a little bit the longer the game goes on, because when you have a big stadium like this and a big set of fans, that's great when it's going well, isn't it? But when you're losing, it's an extra few thousand people to be getting on your back.
I know exactly what the fans are like here. If you're not doing well, they'll let you know about it. It's just the way it's always been, and Argyle are doing really well at the minute. Sometimes they switch off and Bradford take a quick one, but at the minute they're handling everything that Bradford are throwing at them.
And they're going to surely fancy the break, aren't they, Argyle? Because Bradford are going to keep on sending bodies forward, rightly so. If Argyle can score on the break or look dangerous on it, that would be handy too. Ross heads up in the air near the halfway line. Harding trying to take it down, but his ball forward is too up in the air. Ball bounces around, players from both sides looking at one another. I thought you were having it. In the end, Toure with a big bosh forward. Ross gets something on it, but it'll fall to Humphreys. Good covering by Harding. That was good experienced defending from the on-loan Millwall man.
Argyle's always got an opportunity because Bradford are thrown men forward, like you just said. They play 3 at the back and they're happy to go 3v2 at the back, and it gives Argyle an opportunity to win the ball and feed the 2 strikers and let them go and create something in the attacking third.
Power takes a free kick, which Boateng sticks out a leg to block, so he'll go into the book because he was probably only 5 or 6 yards away when that happened. So in his preventing that quick free kick, he gets carded. I think that's instinct, isn't it? Someone fizzes a ball at you from that close, you just block it, don't you? I think that's just a natural thing to do.
Yeah, he probably didn't know he was doing it as well. No. Do you know what I mean? It's just natural.
I'm not moaning about the decision, by the way. It was a rightful yellow card, but I think it was just instinct from the player. Peppel trying to find Talai, does so. Talai in the centre, 25 yards out. He's got Dale to his left. Probably should have played him. Went for the shot, it was blocked, and now Bradford will try and break. Switch to the right hand side. Jackson did well with that because it bounced up into his midriff and he brought it in. Nerfville. He continues on the right hand side. Jackson still with him. Players slowed down. Bradford still have it. Baldwin crosses from deep. Curtis made a hash of the clearance. There's a few players suggesting that was a back pass. It wasn't. It was a misguided clearance that just fell to Hazard. He was right to pick it up. He goes long towards Peppel, who will battle away with Tilt again. And then he's tried to get to it and fouled the defender. Free kick to Bradford. Before that, the Talai chance. Good ball from Peppel. Talai, confident, leading goal scorer. Great left foot. But could he have played Dale to his left?
Most definite. I mean, I just touched on it a couple of minutes before about, can you get that first pass into the midfield and then can you break the lines? Great ball into Talai, and he should have just slipped him in, and then it was a 1v1 with the goalkeeper. But again, great counter-attacking play off Argyle, and that's on all the time, because like I said to you before, Bradford are so adventurous. They push men forward, and there's so much space in between the midfield and the back three, and Talai's coming off, and Pebble's causing all sorts of problems if he's running down the sides. And if you can get the ball into them two, it'll cause havoc.
Bradford free kick, which the goalkeeper has hit down the left-hand side, but straight out of play. I feel a bit for Dale in that previous incident because Argyle's throw was turned into a Bradford throw because Harding took it from too far forward. Referee turns that decision round. Throw in taken down to Jackson on the left-hand side. That's behind Power, ball given away. Peppel turns. That was actually a good tackle from Till. Oh, no, it wasn't, says the referee. That's interesting on a few levels. First of all, I didn't think it was a foul. Secondly, once he'd decided it was, Boateng could have continued with the ball. We have that similar situation from earlier where the referee didn't play advantage to Bradford, then he didn't do it to Argyle. So, interesting minute or so from the official.
Yeah, he's given some interesting decisions, should we say, over the last 15 minutes or so.
Ultimately, it is an Argyle free kick. 10 yards or so into their own half, but Mitchell goes forward, Ross goes forward. They're likely to be the targets. It's been taken from wide on the right. Harding has come short and says, just give it to me, but he's ushered away, and Hazard will hit it long. It's into the area. Mitchell was under it. It might fall for Peppel. Tees it up for Dale. Left-footed cross from the left. Headed away. Sorinola picks it up. Dale is now wider. Receives the ball. Gets it on his right foot. In-swinging cross towards Talai, who gets the flick. Curtis was just beyond him. Talai was always going to go for it. He was right to do so, but the angle was very difficult there, wasn't it, for him to be able to steer it on goal?
Yeah, but you never know, the slightest glance, you never know what might happen. But again, good early ball into the box, plays in the right areas, and just the ball just went wide of the post there.
Bang on 40 minutes. Bradford 0, Argyle 1. Brendan Wiradou's early goal is the difference between the sides at this moment. Bradford have had pressure. They've just kicked the ball straight out of play again there from their goalkeeper. Argyle have ridden a storm at times. 5 minutes until the break. which Argyle were probably happy enough to see. But the game is really, really well poised. The team with the second best home record against the team with the third best away. And the away side on top, nominally, score-wise, at the moment. The early stages were dominated by Argyle having corners and long throws. Haven't seen one for a little bit, but we're going to get another long throw here. Harding with a throw from the right-hand side. Curtis is the short option, and that's what they do. Back to Harding to cross. Really good ball in towards the near post. Headed towards the edge of the box. Boateng's chest down was not a good one, but Humphrey's attempted clearance was even worse, and it will go out for an Argyle corner on the right-hand side. It'll be Curtis to take it. This was the location of the corner that led to Argyle's opener. The mud on that corner of the pitch incurring onto the field means Curtis just takes a couple of bunny hops to flatten what should be turf, so he can lay the ball down, give himself a little run up and then clip it into the box. Mitchell was at the far. It was a good header away by the defender. Dale tried to swipe at it as Curtis kept it in, not quite. Oh, it was a flying header by Boateng, who was unlucky, but the ball had gone out as Curtis tried to hook it back into the centre. We've got 3 minutes until the 45 minutes are up for the first period. Power trying to switch the play. Dale, though, chested it down and got away from Nerfield. Continues down the left. Nerfield did enough momentum-wise to get the ball back, but that's a long ball from Bradford, which Matthias Ross will deal with. Power in the centre, flicks it over the top, trying to get Jackson running. Ross wasn't quite sure of the bounce. Ball comes into the centre. Harding stabs it away, and Sorinola can clear. The header down falls to Talai. Can retain it for Argyle. Wiradou goes down under pressure, wins Argyle the free kick. Just before that, you've referred to a couple of times as split strikers. I think what you mean by that is the two forwards for Bradford aren't close together, are they? They'll get wide and go in channels like Jackson just did, and that ball in the middle could have been dangerous, but for Harding coming to sweep up.
Yeah, they're playing between, the centre-back and the full-back, and give the two centre-backs a little bit of a problem, how to cover each other. And also the full-backs need to tuck in a little bit, but because they play with a free and wing players as well, they try and get overloads in them little positions by playing split strikers.
Argyle free kick taken by Hazard. It's straight down the throat of the opposition goalkeeper, who catches it and then rolls it out. Curtis Tilt. Toure to his outside. Nothing on inside, blocked by Curtis. That won't, well, it will go out now, but it might not have had there been an intervention. Toure looks around, doesn't think there's much on. Throws down the line. I think Harding lost that in the floodlight, putting his arm up in the air, and it's fallen enough to Humphreys that he can break away. Boateng had to be really careful there because he's on a yellow card. Had he brought Humphreys down, he'd have been walking. Did really well, Boateng. But they've found some space again here, Bradford. Humphreys quickly to his right. Nerfville. Sorinola out there with him. Nerfield tries to drive towards the byline and clip it in. Sorinola doing enough at full stretch. Blocked it. And players fell in a bit of a heap by the advertising hoardings, but will pick themselves up. One to defend this corner, one to be part of the attacking of it. It's actually Toure that's going over to the right-hand side to take it left-footed. We're basically at the 45 as this corner is being taken. The short option is there. Argyle only have one player out if Bradford goes short. That's Dale standing on the edge of the area. We're going to have 2 additional minutes, and that kicks off with this corner. Bradford are taking their time over. Toure to take. The wind has just buffeted that ball off of the quadrant. So Toure replaces the oscillating ball and then clips it in towards the near post. Good header by Sorinola. Power tees up Toure again, deliberately on his left foot to him to whip it in. This time it's Curtis who wins the header. Argyle trying to get distance on it. Curtis plays it early towards Dale. Though he's bursting down the left-hand side. He's on his own at the moment. Argyle players coming forward with him to try and help out. Dale trying to get down beyond Nerfville. It goes over the line. It's a goal kick. In the end, that is just seen out by Bradford. And they take their goal kick short. Power is everywhere. Got into the 6-yard area to take a quick free kick, a quick goal kick with his goalkeeper there, trying to instigate things, but in the end Bradford just go long. Ross heads. Referee thinks there was a push by Boateng on Lapsley, and this will probably be the last action of the first period. A Bradford free kick on the left, which Toure is placing, and Argyle will have one more set piece to repel before the half-time is up. The big screen here hasn't done the continual of the count on the clock for me to know exactly how many seconds are being added on, but I can actually sneakily see the referee's assessor 2 rows in front of me, and I'm watching his clock at the moment. So we've got about 5 seconds of the 2 that are added. So this will be it. Power takes it, right-footed in swinger. It's a header from Harding. Well, it's half-time, I think. It is indeed. They were about to be unhappy again there, Bradford, because the flag had gone up for an offside, which wouldn't have been because it came off an Argyle player. Anyway, they don't have to worry about any of that controversy because the whistle went, and there is much to talk about for both of these sides. Argyle lead by a goal to nil. Brendan Wiredu scored in the 8th minute, and that is the difference. Argyle won't know at the moment that their rivals for playoff positions are winning. Indeed, Luton are now 2-0 up. But all we can do is look at after ourselves, is what players will always say at this time. And Argyle are winning this huge game at the moment. At half-time here in Bradford, it's Bradford 0, Argyle 1.
Rolls it across for Paul Watson, steaming in. And that's 4. It is a first half to dream of if you play for Plymouth Argyle.
Now Hodges to swing in this free kick. Coughlin is there, the keeper's dropped it, and he scored. It's Evans. Well, I've got 45 seconds on the clock.
How's this one going to end, Mark?
Well, I think don't expect them to just sit back. They're going to come and try to win the game. Bradford, they're going to have a response. I know the manager. I know what he's going to be saying at half time. I think they've got to defend with their lives. They have so far, but also be confident themselves because they've took the game to Bradford and they deserve to be in front.
Well, let's see how it goes. It's on a knife edge, that is for sure. Let's hand back to the University of Bradford Stadium and join our commentary team of Lee Makel and Rob McNichol.
Welcome back. Second half, imminent. Another huge 45 minutes of Argyle's season about to commence. No changes that I can see from either side ahead of the second half. Reminded Argyle have already had to make one change. Brendan Galloway had to come off injured, replaced by Matti Sorinola during the first period. Argyle lead by a goal to nil. Brendan Wiradu, the man to put Argyle in front. I don't always mention this, but I'm going to bring up the fact that Argyle have had a couple of players go into the book. One of them is Malachi Boateng, is on the ball now, is about to take the kick-off and does so. The other is Alex Mitchell. I say that because they're important Argyle players who, as the game goes on, when you're 1-0 up, are going to be putting in challenges, blocks, etc. And they'll have to know that they've got to be a little bit careful when they're playing on a yellow. It does affect you, Lee, doesn't it, in terms of how you have to play the game, especially in a midfield position that you would have known very, very well?
Yeah, it does. I mean, the slightest little mistake or the opposition just take a past you and you just dangle a foot out there. Although it's not a nasty challenge, it's a bookable offence. So all those little things in the middle of the park, you never know what could happen.
Argyle have a throw on the right hand side. Wes Harding has put a few of these into the area and he's going to do it again. In it comes towards the near post. Mitchell tried the flick. Boateng tried to head it back to Harding and didn't quite make it, and so Bradford are going to try and break away here. They go through the centre and then played nicely out to the left hand side. Good opportunity for the host. Cut back, it's behind a couple of players. It will fall eventually though to Baldwin. Thinks about shooting from distance, in the end plays it to Nerfville. Just inside the area on the right hand side. Curtis steers it out, but put his chest towards the ball. A few shouts of handball. It would have been harsh, his arm was by his side. But it goes out for a corner. I know we've only played literally about 90 seconds or so of the second half, but I'm looking down at the bench and Tom Cleverley and Damon Lathrop having a long chat with Caleb Watts. I wonder if he'll be introduced quite soon. Bradford have worked the corner to the edge of the box. Metcalf takes a shot, blocked by Talai. In it comes by Power. Really good ball, really dangerous. It's managed to bounce in the 6-yard area somehow. Wiradu's clearance is blocked and out for an Argyle throw. Max Powell will be thinking, I've put a ball into a perfect area. How has it bounced and gone out the other side? But Argyle do survive.
Exactly. You would expect one of the forwards just to be anticipating that and getting an end of it. But to be fair, Wiradu done really well at the back post there. Just put his body in front of the attacker there and just let it ride over the top of his head and then get the throw in there.
Curtis and Boateng collide. Bradford win it back. Power threaded, Lapsley. Wiradu does enough. Good foot in by him. He goes to the deck as Boateng clears, and Argyle have a chance here to break with Peppel. He keeps it in on the right hand side. Comes in field, blocked by a defender. Curtis then does well to get there first. Stays down. Referee does give a free kick. I was about to say doesn't. He thought about it, but in the end did so. Curtis whacks the floor a couple of times, rubs his leg. I think that will be one that stings for a minute or two and then hopefully goes away. On a cold evening, you've not got quite warm yet from the second half starting. They hurt, don't they?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, the referee took his time there to give a free kick. There's a blatant free kick for where I'm sitting.
Yeah, we are a long way from that, but it did look like a foul, didn't it? And He gave it in the end, that's the main thing.
Yeah, but it's given us opportunity to put the ball into the box. The way we started the first half, getting umpteen balls into the box and causing a little bit of mayhem amongst the Bradford defenders. So it gives us a good opportunity to get that ball into the box and go and attack it.
Some of the home fans are a bit frustrated because Curtis was taking a long time to get up but not getting any treatment, because he knew that any treatment would mean he would have to go off, and he's the free kick taker. So he's eventually got himself to his feet. He will take the free kick from the right hand side, one arm raised, couple of steps, clips it near post. It might fall for Ross near the penalty spot. Boateng getting to his feet, couldn't quite receive it. Bradford have played a dangerous ball across the edge of their box. They've cleared of a fashion, but Sorinola will easily see the ball come onto him near the halfway line and then go for a diagonal ball towards Mitchell, who'd stayed up, but it was away from him into the goalkeeper, who's going to look to try and fire one forward quickly. That part he achieved, but all it does was sail beyond everybody into Hazard, and he will gather the ball near the edge of his box. Hazard long up towards Curtis, didn't see where it fell. It'll be an Argyle throw. Harding has it in his hands. It won't be a launch into the centre, this one. There'll be a throw for Curtis, which is set again for Harding to cross. Decent ball into the centre, headed by Baldwin. It's more of a flick on, really. Peppel should get there first. Actually doesn't, but it falls instead to Dale. He can come onto his right foot from the left. Runs laterally, tees it up nicely for Harding. Wasn't really in shooting position. Fires a ball out towards Peppel, took a big jump. It's a handball. Not the first time we've seen a ball really deviate off the surface. I know we're getting towards cricket season and we're in Yorkshire, but it really shouldn't be turning to that level. It's not Headingley, it's Valley Parade.
I took a wicket bobble, that one, didn't it? It came around his neck.
I thought you were about to say I took a wicket then. You're bragging of your own cricket prowess, Lee Makel, but it did take a wicked bobble, as you quite rightly say.
Not my sport, that.
Argyle throw. There's two balls on the pitch at the moment, so Sorinola can't take it. Who will be able to eventually on the left-hand side. Sorinola, who came on as a sub in the first period, sits in down the line towards Peppel. Wiradoo battles. Right will clear for Bradford. Good header by Mitchell. Curtis flicks on. It got away from Dale. Curtis then beaten in a bit of a 50-50, and they'll try and shift it left to Toure here. Bradford. He's going to run at Harding. Boateng's back to help out. Cross was deflected. More shouts for handball. That one won't be listened to. And Curtis back defending, clears well. And Argyle have a throw right in front of what I believe to be 800 or 900 of the Green Army, who are telling you who they are. Clapping their hands, not just to keep warm, but to support their players who lead by 1-0 in this crucial game here at Bradford. Thrown by Harding. Power, he's the one that constantly for Bradford wants to get the ball down and try and play. They've worked it out to the right hand side. The indefatigable Dale, I got that out eventually, tries to stop it, but Bradford have switched it from right and then to left. Toure's on the end of a bit of a bobble this time, but then plays down the line towards Humphreys. Boateng should see that out, does see that out. I mentioned previously about Watts getting a bit of a chat from the coaches. My thought, Lee, was I wonder whether or not Argyle would think about taking off one of their front two to bring on Caleb Watts, and not necessarily play him as a front man, but just drop him in a little bit, because Bradford's three in midfield have occasionally caused issues for Boateng and Wiradoo, have they not?
They have done, but then on the flip side, as soon as we win possession, we've got two options up top there, and it's causing them a little bit of a problem, Bradford. And it's getting us up the pitch as well, which is really important.
Decisions for Tom Cleverley and his staff. As previously mentioned, they've used one of their stoppage windows, so they'll only be able to stop it twice more during the game to make those 4 subs, if they indeed want to make 4 subs. Good header by Mitchell, had to be, because If he hadn't, Humphreys was hovering to try and get in behind. It leads to a Bradford throw on the left, and it comes to Power. Clever ball from him outside of the right foot to Nerfil, who's been lively, quick down the right hand side. He looked to Baldwin to say, where are you, why aren't you helping me? But Baldwin, a centre back, hadn't done so. But it comes to Power, shoots from the edge of the box in quite a lot of space, and for a player of his experience and quality, he would at least expect to hit the target, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I was expecting to work the goalkeeper. They worked it well. Argyle kind of switched off a little bit. They went with runners, they didn't pass them on to each other and opened up the space for them to get the ball in a dangerous area. And like I said, I was expecting to work the goalkeeper.
It's been a few times where I think, especially in the first half, where Nerfil, the right wing back, has had the ball. Baldwin, playing right centre back, is a little bit reluctant, isn't he, to get forward and support like a full back because he's a central defender. There are opportunities, I think, for them to have that overload, I think would be the correct term there.
I think also he's a little bit apprehensive of, the ball's down the side on his side with Pebble.
Argyle have won it back from Wiradoo. Talai gets to the edge of the box, tries to thread it towards Dale, who goes down in a heap. Referee doesn't give anything. Bradford tried to turn out. Dale tries to tackle the ball once and twice. Referee's given a free kick in the end. Dale's going to get himself too worked up here and go into the book. I think that's a harsh yellow card because he's frustrated, isn't he, Dale? But he's not run to the... I suppose I don't know what he said, but he's not been too demonstrative with the referee. I think that's a bit harsh. I suppose I would say that with my green and white blood, but I think you're allowed to be annoyed, aren't you, as long as it doesn't transgress into being confrontational.
Yeah, definitely, but I watched the referee's reaction when he went down in the penalty area, and for a split second I thought the referee was going to put the whistle to his mouth there.
Bradford take the free kick, long. Hazard off his line, comes and collects. Thought about bowling it out to Harding. Thought better of it and then does it the other way. Throws to Sorinola. There's a lot of grass in front of Matty Sorinola. He can cross the halfway. Plays it to Dale. Ball at his feet. Sorinola from the left-hand side crosses deep into the area. Curtis is attacking it. Got their head on it. It was on target. It was more of a floated cross though. Hard for Curtis to really impart any power. And Bradford save it. Sorinola then wins the ball back really well. Dale can't quite ride the challenge. Bradford 3-on-2 come out with the ball. Bradford work it out of a tight spot to Curtis Tilt, their left-sided defender of the three. The diagonal ball towards Humphreys is the option. Argyle think he's offside, no flag. Humphreys plays it to Nerfil, cuts the ball back. Wiradoo well positioned, and then calmly not only blocks it but plays it to Sorinola, and he goes up the line. Peppel tries to spin right is stronger. Baldwin steps forward, arms by his side as if to say there's nothing on. Wiradoo again tries to head it to Sorinola. His clearance is blocked, and Lapsley drifts towards the right hand side, hits it off the shins of Mitchell, and Bradford a throw on the right near the corner flag. Whenever they've had this so far, they haven't looked like they were going to go long with it. They don't here either. Thrown short to Baldwin, who can cross from the right. It's an outswinger. It might fall eventually to... The shot comes in. I think it was Torre. Had a bit of a lash at it. Difficult one as it went down off of his chest on the half volley. Caught it well enough, but it was always rising. And it's a goal kick. We're on 57 and a half minutes here. Argyle lead 1-0. Updates from elsewhere. The games that affect the Pilgrims. It's Rotherham 0, Luton 2, Stevenage 1, Barnsley 0. So at the moment the three teams around the edge of the playoff race, all winning to 0. Crucially though, Argyle start this day 6 points behind Bradford. A win, and I'm not saying we've won, there's a long way to go, but a win would bring Argyle to within 3 of the Bantams, and Argyle's goal difference is much more the superior, so this would bring Bradford back into it really. Still with 2 games to go after this, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's worry about this evening first. Ball has continued to cannon around while I was talking there, and eventually has gone out. No, it hasn't gone out. Bradford keep it in near the halfway line. Toure looking for a big crossfield ball, and he's done it as well. Great ball. Nerfville takes it down out of the twister in the sky that the ball seemed to be in. A couple of step overs from Humphreys to open up the place to cross from the right hand side. Well positioned was Matthias Ross. He heads it away.
He's a good player, Humphreys, isn't he? He excites you, he gets you on the edge of your seat, but again, Ross done an excellent header in right position just to get clear of the ball there.
Bradford with the throw, tried to work it to Humphreys. Dale's run into a bit of trouble. Eventually tries to dig it out towards Talai, who comes deep, and then Curtis just knocks it long. Argyle will get themselves up the field, but Bradford have it. There is still more than half an hour to go. Argyle won't want to get into a attack versus defence almost training drill, and although they've defended really well so far, it's too long to be doing that all night. But that's nice from Talai. Holds the ball, plays it to Boateng, clip towards Peppel. He couldn't bring it down. Wiredu put his head in where it could hurt, and he did well because he did enough to put Bradford off. But they're outnumbered again in the centre of Argyle, and Bradford now come down the right hand side where Humphreys has drifted again, running at Sorinola, gets in the area, tries to get outside him. Good block by Sorinola, picked up by Metcalf from distance. That was always curling off target. From the angle that some of you are watching this from, that might have looked relatively close. It wasn't. From the angle we're at, it was a few yards wide. Bang on the hour, here comes Caleb Watts. My instinct is it will be Peppel. It's not, it's Wiredu. That makes me suspect it was a pre-planned one. Wiredu played an hour almost exactly at the weekend. He's done so again tonight, coming back from injury. Tom Cleverley not blessed with loads of options in the centre of midfield, although Bradley Ibrahim is on his way back and I believe has travelled, not included in the squad tonight. Wiredu being looked after. And Caleb Watts comes on. And he's got an important job here, Caleb Watts, to come onto the centre of midfield in this game. Full of energy.
Wiredu done really well, didn't he? He competed. You could see he was getting a little bit tired. As the game was going, he got a little bit leggy, but him and Boateng's got a really good partnership in the middle of the park.
They have. He's a real battler, is Brendan Wiredu. I think he has probably played more than anyone this season through those knocks and niggles that you get all season. Every player by this stage of the season has got something they're carrying a bit, haven't they, Lee, after this long of the season? But I think he's had more than most during the season. He's worked his way through.
Very rarely are you 100% fit for a game. You're always carrying them knocks, especially
in April. Watts has done really well there, backing in and causing havoc. That's what he's going to do. He'll throw it from the off. Didn't quite come off, but Argyle have won it back. They'll have to go back to Hazard here, but that's okay. He'll ping it long. Curtis will be the recipient, heads it down. Boateng reads it well. Again, I think that's just another one where he knows he's got to be careful on those 50-50s. Talai, though, has made Tilt pay, who was a little bit slow to it. Talai from the right-hand side, whips it in left-footed, low-headed clearance. Watts first to it. Offloads to Sorinola down the left-hand side, trying to dink a ball towards the run of Talai. Actually, it was Curtis making that into outrun, but too heavy. Goal kick, and now we're getting some Bradford changes. And first of all, Nerfville is going to come off. It'll be Nick Powell who comes on, another experienced player. You'll remember him from many years ago as a young player, went from Crewe to Manchester United, never really broke in there, but he's got plenty of experience. He comes on, and so does Will Swan. He's on for Jensen Metcalf, and that's it's a double attacking change really, because Will Swan will want to play in advanced roles. He's been playing off the front of late. Powell's an attacking player as well. That will come out in the wash exactly who's gone where. But that's a statement of intent, isn't it, from Bradford?
Yeah, Lapsell's just gone alongside. Power there in the middle of the park, and Swan's just gone and played it off.
Oh, Mitchell didn't quite get their chance for Jackson. Gets into the box, hits it over his head. Header comes in from Swan. Hazard came and punched it. Did really well. Bradford is suggesting that he made contact with the player. It would have been an instant introduction for Swan. But Hazard did really well there. Cross from the right from Baldwin. Didn't really catch it. There's a dummy. Curtis has tried to block it. Toure edge of the box. Tries to get beyond Curtis and cross. Really good block again. Toure keeps it in. Lapsley gets it on his right foot near the edge of the box, clips it into the centre. Hazard should get there, does. Claims, done really well. A couple of times in a row there, Connor Hazard.
Brilliant there, picking cherries, wasn't he? Great take. Takes the pressure off the defenders and comes and helps them. Brilliant.
Yeah, once with the punch and once with the catch, making good decisions, the Argyle goalkeeper. Bradford have taken their throw. 2 balls on the pitch at the moment. In fact, they've collided with one another. So the referee will have to stop the play. Almost certainly he'll drop it into Bradford possession and then we'll play from there.
Didn't have that problem in my time.
No such thing as multi-ball.
No.
Ball is dropped, play is back underway. Power tries to turn. Beats Talai in a bit of a 50-50. Then tilt near the centre spot. Looking towards Jackson, who for some reason put an arm up in the air. Lucky he didn't make contact with that. Would have been booked probably. He seems to be playing off the right now, doesn't he, Caden Jackson?
Yeah, Swan's playing off Powell, and Lapsell's just gone alongside Power in the middle of the park. Then you've got Humphreys out on the left there. Yeah,
the 2 previous centre forwards are now basically playing as wide men, and it's almost 4-2-4, isn't it? They're throwing bodies at it. Bradford. It's got to mean there's space somewhere else. That's always my thought.
Well, I was just going to say the manager's been really, really brave in keeping the 2 up top, isn't he? Hoping that we can get an opportunity where we can get the ball into those 2 strikers.
Ross gets a foot in to stop it getting to Swan. Harding clears long over Talai's head. I thought he was going to nick that just before tilt. Then I thought Curtis was going to nick that, but eventually it will come to an Argyle player. Harding down the line, but it's out of play. Argyle's remaining options from the bench: Julio Plegathuelo, Jamie Patterson, Xavier Amici, Owen Osseini. Argyle have won a free kick on the right hand side. Talai over there. And again, don't forget, Argyle only have one more opportunity to stop the game. 3 players remaining, but they can only stop it once more.
This is where we need to be organised. Although we've got the free kick, we've got to be really organised and pick up on the second balls if anything comes out.
Bradford have brought everyone back. They will know Argyle's danger at set pieces. Indeed, it has been their undoing once tonight. The only goal of the game, Rendon Wiredu from a corner. This is an Argyle free kick, Curtis to take. Bradford line up along an invisible line by the penalty spot. Curtis's ball in, goalkeeper comes and punches. Ross puts it back in, Peppel shoots, oh, it's just wide. Oh, it was through lots of bodies, a group of players. Peppel steered it, got his body over the top of the ball. He did a lot right there, Lee, just put it just the wrong side of the post.
He did everything right, kept it down, kicked his body over it, and I was just waiting for the ball to rustle in the back of the net there, because there was a lot of defenders in front of me and I couldn't really see it properly, but a great opportunity for Argyle to go 2-0 up.
It really was. Now it's an opportunity for Bradford as they push it down the right hand side. Jackson, ball running away from him, but he will get there first. Crosses first time, flicked on at the near post. Mitchell was well placed again to head, on by Sorinola, then by Dale. Peppel needs to hold it, or at least draw a foul. Did really well. As Dale kept it in, he has an Argyle break. Dale's got to lie in front of him, didn't hit it far enough. Tilt will deal with it. Curtis was on the right hand side, possibly looking for it. Talai's won it back fairly, I think, but it'll be a goal kick. Did Dale do the right thing but didn't execute it right, or should he have done something different? What do you think, Lee?
Well, it wasn't bad what he did. He just underhit the pass, but he had loads of space in front of him just to go and drive and cause a little bit of, mayhem with the defenders there. And then, as you could see on the right-hand side there, Curtis made a really, really good run and he was free. Just had to get his head up, pick him out, and again it was a 1v1 situation.
I wonder if Talai's run wasn't even necessarily for the ball, but more as a decoy, so Dale could have gone infield. But anyway, didn't quite come off. Flicked by Swan. Captain for the night, Ross, steers it away. Header infield by Baldwin, only finds Peppel. I think the referee will give a free kick here for a push in the back. He does. Argyle are just going to take their time over these sorts of things. 69 minutes on the clock. And they have restricted Bradford in this second period. Seeing the game well as it stands, but there is still 20 odd minutes to go. This free kick is inside the centre circle, but once again Mitchell and Ross have gone forward. They're on separate sides. Curtis fires it towards Ross. He's the target. It's a header away, but back in by Watts. Ross hooks it over his head from the right hand side. Tilt wins the header. Bradford with Toure will clear. It's all about the bounce here. It's a good header by Powell, well read by Harding. Forward by Watts. Pep will be offside if he goes towards this. There goes the flag. This is a game where you want a player like a Harding in your back line, isn't it? The experience that he's got, his mentality, his demeanour. Did really well there dealing with it. And without Joe Edwards, without your skipper, Argyle will need players like that, but they've got them in abundance, I think, on the pitch. The character, the experience to try and take them through this next 20 minutes or a little bit more.
Well, that's been evident in display, hasn't it? The character, the aggressive nature, the physicality, everything that you want from your team, and then obviously the little bit of quality that got with a goal. But yeah, they've been excellent so far tonight.
Peppel's won the ball back. Oh, referee's given a foul to Bradford. I thought it might be the other way for the Bradford player not releasing the ball, but they've gone down the right hand side. Mitchell puts a really good foot in, so important, had to get there. Dale and Watts then with good feet. Dale into Talai, that was a difficult one again, a bobble just in front of him, and he turned into trouble. Swan gets down the right. Jackson trying to turn inside and then back outside of Watts, tracking. Stood up ball to the far post, great opportunity, header across. What a header by Mitchell. Still alive for Bradford. Argyle have not seen it out yet. Good feet, worked through into the centre. Opportunity to shoot near the edge of the box. Saved by Hazard, should be a goal, is a goal. Will Swan scores, it's the equaliser for Bradford. They finally got the shot away, Hazard saved it. But Swan was there to pounce. I'm not sure this is 100% here. The referee wants to have a chat with the linesman, I think. Oh no, maybe not. Getting my hopes up. I just thought for a second there was maybe a conversation, but Will Swan has come on and scored.
It was great play off Humphrey, wasn't it? But to be fair, the two players of Argyle on that side, it was far too easy how he got in between them, and then he come inside and keeper done excellent, great save, and all he could do was parry it in front for Swan just to about a tap in.
Argyle have 18 minutes remaining. The momentum obviously is with Bradford. They've equalised, but Argyle will feel that they still need to win the game. Great challenge by Watts, wins the ball. Bradford aren't happy, play goes on. Dale trying to turn, continues down the left hand side, rides a couple of challenges, plays inside to Boateng. He couldn't get it past his man. Bradford will try and break. They will still want to try and win this as well. That's cleared long. There was no contact there by Soranala. Bradford have gone off of the previous fire that they felt of Watts' challenge. There was absolutely zero contact there from Soranala. He'll get in trouble, he'll get booked because of the reaction and the way he went over to the touchline and remonstrated. There's a few chats going on off the ball as well. Curtis is being calmed down by Harding. Jackson getting involved. Ross trying to see him away. There will be a yellow card here for Sorinola. It's pretty loud in here now. After being frustrated for most of the night, Bradford have found their equaliser and their fans have found their voices. The next 16 minutes could define Argyle's season. I will say that 1 point is not a disaster. It doesn't help when Luton and Stevenage are both winning. It will put Argyle in a very difficult position. But they could well take 6 from their last 6. It would not be an outrageous suggestion, but it would make it hard. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. Long from Bradford. I will say their defeat would almost certainly take it away from Argyle. That's good from Peppel. Takes the ball down, tries to drive, but he's run into a cul-de-sac. Gets a toe in to win it back, but it should be a Bradford throw, I think it is.
I still think the way that we're playing, I still think we'll get an opportunity.
Because Bradford are trying to win, aren't they? They're not happy with the point. They're going to push and try and win it and capitalise on their home record, try and seal the deal tonight, because if they win, they know they're in the playoffs. It means you would expect a relatively open final 15 minutes. Bradford throw. Peppel can't believe it. Bradford have taken it quickly. Humphreys down the left. Ross sees it out. Goal kick.
Him and Mitchell have been excellent at the back, haven't they? They've won everything. They couldn't really do anything about the goal. You know, came from the wider areas and cut inside, but everything that's been thrown into the box, and Mitchell's cleared a couple off the line. It's been immense.
Hazard's goal kick. Headed up in the air by Power. Flick on by Powell. Watts' header was straight into the path of Lapsley, who knocks it down the right for Jackson. Good defending by Sorinola. And then he clears. Dale with a good takedown. Curtis wanted it to his right. Dale couldn't shift it. And then a foul given. Watts on Lapsley. I guess it happens sometimes when the momentum... Argyle have had to do a lot of chasing in this game. I saw the possession stats at half-time and it was basically 2/3 to Bradford. Sometimes when you're after the ball all night, your legs do tire a wee bit, don't they? And also that... I don't like using the word negativity, but the falling level, the momentum being with the home side. Argyle just look a bit tired to me at the moment. They're just losing some of those little jewels.
Yeah, compared to what they were like at the start of the game. They were jumping on second balls and driving forward.
Free kick in by Power, headed goalwards, just wide. It's a decent delivery, although possibly lacking a little bit of... I'm trying not to say the word power around Power, it feels too obvious, but maybe not enough oomph if he gets out the most basic thesaurus in the world. The header steered wide. It means Argyle have a goal kick, which Hazard takes. Boateng can't quite get there, but it is an Argyle throw. Harding down the line towards Tolai. It's beyond him. Peppel, that's a push on right. Peppel's got to be careful as well. He's just seen Sorinola making his protests and getting booked for it. Referee is just pulling Matthias Ross in, the captain, and saying, look, just calm Bim Peppel down. I'm going to book him if he does that again. This is eating into the time. We're on 78 minutes. 12 to go. We've seen a couple of subs and a goal. So I would think we're going to get a few minutes. If there are more subs to come, we'll start to see the likes of 5-6 minutes. At the moment, both sides want this game to go on for a while because they both want a goal. Neither will be, I think in the long term, Bradford are probably slightly happier with the point, but they'll both want all three. They both crave all three. But I have to say, it's the home side at the moment that are far more likely. The momentum is with them since they've scored. Argyle are going to make at least one change. Xavier Amici is stripped and ready to come on. It'll be Argyle's last change. Tilts ball forward, blocked by Peppel, but only out for a Bradford throw. Do Argyle do the sub now? Not yet. Oh yes, they will actually. The referee's stopping the game. So we're going to get the change now. Owen Dale going off. Amici for Dale is the change. I assume he'll go to the right and that Curtis will go to the left eventually, but Curtis is basically saying don't do that yet, stay where you are at the moment because we're going to defend a throw. So at the moment, straight, so what's happened? Oh, the goalkeeper's down at the other end for Bradford. So they will have time to make the desired change.
It's one of those tricks.
There's been a lot of discourse, hasn't there, lately about goalkeepers going down. And if I'm perfectly honest, it's something that Conor Hazard does quite a lot. So I think we all established now, don't we, that it's a bit of an unofficial timeout. I don't think anyone likes it, but I think it's a bit of a situation for head coaches who think it gets used against us. What's good for the goose is good for the bantam, etc. And so I think that's what ends up happening. But while we're going ornithological, it's actually a Swan that's got the equalising goal and has changed this game and changed this season, quite frankly, as far as Argyle are concerned. Will Swan coming on, scoring that equaliser, has changed everything from an Argyle perspective, because Luton are still winning 2-0 at Rotherham. Stevenage are 1-0 up against Barnsley. And what it means is Argyle, as we stand, would be 4 points behind Stevenage with 2 games to go. Also be 4 points behind Stockport, who are losing at the moment, although they still have 3 games to play after tonight. As it stands right now, it would be Argyle 67, Luton 68, Stevenage 71, Stockport 71, but with a game fewer played. So the situation would be that Argyle would essentially need Stevenage to get no more than 2 points from those remaining games, and Argyle would need to win both, and that's not even factoring Luton in. So, as I said before, it puts Argyle in a very difficult position, but not an impossible one, if this stays 1-1. But what about if something happens here? Peppel down the left-hand side, trying to get beyond Baldwin, but he's blocked. Watts wins it back. Great grafting by Caleb Watson, and a good ball too to Curtis, who's now playing on the left. First time cross, goalkeeper backpedaling, did well to hold it. Curtis saw the value in the early cross, but it was on his left foot, harder for him to wrap his foot around it. But Argyle's showing that they still want to attack and break. Watts trying to get it back. Referee lets that go for what Bradford thought was a foul. Watts pushes it down the line towards Peppel. Wright is getting across with him. Peppel has got something on it to come inside. I think he looks tired, Ben Peppel, in situations like that. It's difficult for him to power down the line like he would have done in the first half. Difficult one for Harding. He's pushed in the back as he cleared. Nothing given. Great take by Watts, and then a good ball too towards Curtis. Comes infield. Sorinola now outside him. Curtis with a left-footed cross to Lai, trying to attack it. Running on at the far post was Amici. Harding from distance shoots. Clearance is up in the air. Talai trying to get towards it, but the goalkeeper will claim. .83 played. Can Argyle find something? Signs over the last minute or two. A lot of it coming from this man, Caleb Watson. Another really good ball. Peppel trying to take it and spin. There'll be a free kick to Bradford, if anything. Yeah, there we go. Peppel versus Wright has been a battle over the last few minutes, but it's one the defender has continued to win, and the referee's just booked Peppel. Again, I don't know if it was for a reaction or just for kind of a combination of persistent fouling or whatever, but yellow card for Bim Peppel. Watts is having an impact for Argyle. Lee, isn't he, trying to get on the ball and create things? It's in his nature to do that. He's the one that's really trying to drive Argyle on at the moment.
Yeah, he's done really well, hasn't he? He's come on, he's slotted in there, like I said, really well, and every time he gets the ball, he tries to look forward, he tries to be positive, and since Curtis has come over to this side as well, he's been more into the game and linking up well with him.
Sam Walker with the free kick for Bradford, headed back by Boateng, not once but twice. It's Power though that hoists it over the top. Mitchell running back towards his own goal line. I think he dragged it over. Oh no, goal kick given. Must have just gone over by the time he played it. Fortunately for Argyle, Hazard takes it quickly to Ross. This is such an unusual sight in a game like this where both teams want to play quickly, but Ross to Harding didn't come off, and Bradford will now go forward towards Powell. Takes it down, drifts out to the left. Ross for company. Cuts his legs to stop the nutmeg, but all it does is leave for a Bradford throw. Typically in a game such as this, or any game, there's one team that's happier than the other with the draw. But both of these at the moment are taking quick throws, quick free kicks, wanting to get the ball moving. They know the value in the extra goal. Bradford go reasonably long. Ross can clear, but it's only again out for another throw-in, and Argyle don't want that to happen. It just gives Bradford the opportunity to have the ball and to try and create something in Argyle territory. Argyle need a goal. At the very least, we could do with a goal from Barnsley. That would change a lot of things, but it's 89 minutes played at the moment. Still Stevenage 1, Barnsley 0 in that game. One Bradford throw leads to another on their left-hand side. Now Lapsley. Humphreys down the left-hand side. Amici trying to stop him, and does stop him. Good defending from Zavamici. Talai then takes it down, but is just seen off of it by one too many Bradford City players as far as Argyle are concerned. Long ball, what a block by Mitchell, stretching, and then Curtis, can he find Talai? Trying to get his body in the way, but again it was a tired action from Laurent Talai, couldn't quite get in front, and it's Bradford who try and strip away down the right hand side. Jackson, low cross, edge of the box, well positioned was Boateng, half clearance. Baldwin tries a little ball, that was unlucky actually, it was a good little ball if Swan had been alive to it, but he's blocked Boateng's clearance and then kept it in. Curtis does well to get back, hits it long and clear, but it's hard for Argyle to pick those up because it's just going to bounce out for a throw. I suppose you're betwixt and between, aren't you, because you've got to bring bodies back to stop Bradford, but then when you knock it forward there's no one there.
Yeah, again it's do you go for it? There's 4 minutes to go of a long season. Do you try and nick a winner? Do you do something different in the last couple of minutes for someone from the backup? But then that'll create space for Bradford to try and get a winner. What do you do?
Bradford have the ball at the moment. Argyle need the ball to even make that decision. Down the left hand side come the Bantams. They had two players down temporarily. They're both now back up. Humphreys, Toure. Humphreys gets it back, trying to get past Caleb Watts, the two of them shoulder to shoulder. Humphreys in front of Jackson, too far in front. It'll be a throw. Argyle doing everything at pace. They want to get the ball back and knock it up the park, up towards Peppel. That goes out of play. Tom Cleverley plays ball retriever and hands it back to Aidan Baldwin, who will take the throw. I definitely think Bradford are less up-tempo than Argyle. I do think it's a better point for them. even though they'd want to win it. Foul given, Powell on Mitchell.
It's also not a bad point for ourselves as well, with 2 games remaining. I know we need to rely on other results, but it still gives us opportunity if we can win those 2 games.
Hazard will take the free kick, not far outside of his box. Central defenders have gone miles forward to try and get on the end of it. There's one of them, Ross, didn't win the header, but it's forward by Harding towards Tulai. It hits a Bradford player. A throw-in or a corner wouldn't be the worst thing for Argyle here. It's going to be a goal kick though. Clearance by Jackson, ricochets off of Curtis. It's a goal kick. And the very fact that Walker is happy to roll it to the left-hand side of his penalty area suggests to me that they're really not all that bothered about winning it. I continue to say that I think it's a better point for Bradford. They will also know that Argyle are going to have to throw things at this, so they may just be thinking if the Greens send bodies forward, they might be able to pick them off. Long kick, Ross does enough. Amici long towards Tulai, there's the flick, could be a chance for Curtis, edge of the box, Ronan Curtis, onto his right foot, then to his left, oh he's just run out of room, tees it up for Tulai, got under it, and it's a goal kick. Oh, and there was very possibly at least one moment in there for Ronan Curtis to swing a foot, be that right or left, take the chance. He didn't do it. It's a goal kick. And we're about to have some action on the touchline. Bradford are going to make a change. There's also the board to go up. So we're going to have 5 additional minutes. 5 minutes to be played. And at the very start of that added time period, Matt Pennington is going to come on for Bradford. And they are going to take off Stephen Humphreys to do so. That rule of players going off at the nearest point has gone right out the window, isn't it?
I was just about to bring that up then. Be interesting to see how much more the referee adds on.
Yeah, because I'm keeping an eye on the clock here. The ball was already out for a goal kick before we got to the 90-minute mark. We won't start before the 91. So 5 were added. We've played 1 and we've not seen the ball in play. So really, we should get to 96 at least. Let's see if we do. But Argyle have just had a big chance though, Lee. It was a great opportunity, wasn't it, for Curtis and then Tulai.
Yeah, that was the opportunity I was talking about earlier on.
Yeah.
I knew we would get one more opportunity, but I thought he could have got his shot off as soon as he cut in on his right hand side, but he tried to be a little bit cuter than he should have been, you know, just get his shot off, could have got a deflection. Pebble was even there for a little slidey pass to get his shot off.
It's a Bradford throw-in in their left-back area. Toure goes down the line. Ross wins the header, but it just leads to another throw-in. The ball is in Bradford's hands, literally at the moment. Argyle need it back. Throw down the line, blocked by Harding. And then he can clear towards Peppel. Needs to try and win it, but win it cleanly. That's enough. That's a throw. Harding will take it pretty much on the halfway line. Is he going to go back to Ross and keep the ball? He will. Ross will probably go along to Mitchell. Argyle have it in their possession. We've played 2.5 minutes of 5 to be added. We would hope to have a bit more than that, based off of how long it took to do the sub. Up towards Peppel, brings it down edge of the box. Can he spin and get it loose to someone? It bounces around. Bradford clear. Header by Harding. Watts takes it down. Good feet by Harding. Gets out of a tight position. Mitchell just inside him. Sorinola to the left. Can cross from the right hand side. It's clipped in. Peppel's underneath it. It's a great header away. Can Harding get it back in? Clipped cross. Peppel's in there again, but it's a header away. Sorinola, Bradford keep on winning those headers inside the area. Curtis next to get there. Argyle are going to get a free kick. Referee thinks that it was a reckless challenge by George Lapsley. Yellow card is already in the referee's hands. He's checking with the player who's down, which is Sorinola. He looks hurt. Argyle will want him to get up so they can get on with the free kick. I don't think Sorinola's making a meal of this because I think he's actually hurt. He would want to carry on. He gets help to his feet. Argyle will have a free kick. George Lapsley will have a yellow card. And this, everyone, could be your season. Argyle score here. Game well and truly on. See you on Saturday. They don't, then we need snookers. I know that's topical at the moment. He's bound to, there should be an extra couple of minutes to be played based off of the long substitution and now the stoppage for that foul, the yellow card. Tom cleverly has given some instructions to Curtis. It's essentially go away and leave it to Xavier Amici. Curtis is a good header of the ball. That might be why. Get another person in there that could head on goal. The referee is not allowing the free kick to be taken yet because there's some pushing and shoving. It all adds to the drama, to the theatre. But can Argyle add to the scoreline? That's the thing that's important. Amici to take the free kick. Delivery has to be good. It's pretty good. It's headed. It's back across the 6-yard area though, and Bradford will clear. It will be an Argyle throw. Will they try and launch it, or will they try and do it quickly? Do something though. It'll be further back than that. They won't let them take it from there, but Harding is going to take the throw. We've had the 5 minutes. There's bound to be a couple more, surely. Bradford are screaming for the whistle to go. Harding takes the throw. Headed clear. Back to Wes Harding. Scoops it into the area. Flicked on by Watts. Bouncing around. Cleared by Toure. Up in the air. It's long actually. They've done well. What a take by Harding. He'll have to go back to Hazard, who needs to thump this forward. Takes a touch and then hits it down the centre. Flick by Mitchell. Where's it going to fall? Curtis. It's all very narrow. Curtis tries to get it out towards Amici, but it's not reached him. On by Lapsley. Jackson was offside, so he stopped. Powell wasn't and won the header. Sorinola back to Hazard, and the time might be running out. We've had an extra minute. Bradford now have it with Jackson. Curtis went into the back of him. No foul given. And Sorinola should be able to get it up the line. Does so. Jackson has stayed down. Bradford want the game stopped. But the game ends. It ends Bradford City 1. Plymouth Argyle 1. A point that is better for the home side than the away.